Today I'll be presenting on alfalfa, its origins and production. Alfalfa likely originated in Persia or what is now mostly Iran. From there, the plant found its way to Arabia where it gained its name. Alfalfa then spread to Greece in about 490 BC and later to the Roman Empire in about 200 BC. Eventually, the Romans introduced alfalfa to Western Europe and then the British Isles and Spain, where New England colonists brought it to the United States. Alfalfa, scientific name Medicago sativa, is an annual perennial dicot from the Fabaceae family. Its growth habit is like that of a forb or herb. The plant is about 60 centimeters tall with branching leaves of about 5 to 20 millimeters long that are toothed at the apex and sometimes at the base. Its flowers are violet or pale violet and can be found clustered along an unbranched axis known as a raceme. The fruit of alfalfa plants are curved or spiral seed pods containing 10 to 20 yellow or brown seeds. Soil tests for alfalfa differ among states. Therefore, soil tests are essential in determining production. Liming is the most important fertility concern. Its benefits include increased establishment and persistence, increased nitrogen-fixing rhizobium activity, and improved soil structure and tilth. For maximum returns, fields should be aligned to a pH of 6.7 to 6.9. The field should be prepared a year before seeding, and primary tillage along with disking will help control weed regrowth, level the land, and break up large soil clods. Spring seeding is preferred in northern states due to a greater change in successful stand establishment, while late summer seeding is preferred in southern states because of the opportunity to establish alfalfa after growing another crop. Seeds should be planted 1/4 to half an inch deep on medium and heavy textured soils and half to an inch deep on sandy soils. Seed inoculation is also essential for alfalfa, as rhizobium bacteria can create nodules on the roots that allow for bacteria to fix nitrogen when available. Seeds can be purchased pre-inoculated or can be treated with commercial inoculum. Alfalfa typically gets enough nitrogen from its symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing rhizobium or soil organic matter. Although adding nitrogen may lower yield and air quality by stimulating growth of grasses and weeds, in cases where the soil hasn't been adequately limed, 30 to 50 pounds per acre can be used. Alfalfa requires relatively large amounts of phosphate and potash. Phosphorus is essential for successful establishment and good root development, while potash reduces susceptibility to certain diseases and increases winter hardiness and stand survival. Application of both phosphate and potash should be based on recommendations from soil tests. Because alfalfa takes up more potassium than it needs, fields should not be top-dressed on soils testing high for nutrients. Even though alfalfa absorbs most nutrients from the top 6 to 8 inches of soil, due to phosphorus's immobility, alfalfa responds better to incorporated applications than to top-dress applications. Secondary nutrient requirements include calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. While calcium and magnesium deficiencies are very rare, problems can be avoided by following a good liming program with dolomitic limestone. Sulfur deficiencies, on the other hand, are common with high sulfur demanding crops such as alfalfa, so sulfate sulfur or elemental sulfur can be added to treat this. Although plants only need very small amounts of micronutrients, deficiencies can heavily impact plant growth. Boron is usually the only micronutrient needed in a fertilizer program for alfalfa. 2 to 3 pounds per acre should be applied to medium textured soils and 0.5 to 1 pound per acre for sandy soils. Manganese, zinc, iron, and copper are also rarely deficient in alfalfa. Forage yield, quality, and stand persistence are all considered in the development of a profitable harvest management program. If harvesting for maximum persistence, the alfalfa should be cut between first flower and 25% flower, which is approximately 35 to 40 days between cuttings. For high-quality harvesting, the first cutting should be taken by an early calendar date appropriate for the region. The remainder of the cutting should be taken at mid-bud, which is generally 28 to 33-day intervals early in the season and longer near the end of the season. These cuttings should be completed within a 3 to 4 day period. If harvesting for high yield and high quality, it's important that the first 2 cuttings are timely. In this case, the first cutting should be at bud stage, or between May 15 and 25 in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and earlier farther south. The second cutting should be 28 to 33 days after the first cut, or mid-bud, whichever is earlier. and subsequent cuttings should be done at 38 to 55 day intervals, or at 10 to 25% bloom. Here I've provided the references for this PowerPoint. Thanks for watching.